It's so easy every day living in Lubbock, the one and only LBK.
'Cause we got rock and roll, we got the blues, we can honky tonk in our cowboy boots.
And through the dust in the rearview mirror, you can see our rhythm and roots. And through the dust in the rearview mirror, you can see our rhythm and roots.
Welcome to Season 2 of LBK Rhythm and Roots Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Robertson. It's a beautiful sunny day here in the LBK. This is a sneak peek of Season 2 of LBK Rhythm and Roots. This first episode, the crew and I were live on location in Austin, Texas at Studio 601, and we sit down with the West Texas Exiles. The Exiles, appropriately named, are a bunch of cats from, three of the guys are from right here in Lubbock, Texas. One's from Amarillo and the other is from El Paso. This is a very, very unique group. One of the guys is actually the son of one of the famous Flatlanders who all originate from right here in Lubbock. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Make sure you tune in to all our episodes. They're all found on My LBK Connect, the City of Lubbock's YouTube channel, and the audio's available anywhere podcasts are streamed. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to Season 2 of Rhythm and Roots LBK Podcast, a podcast for musicians by musicians. I'm your host, Jason Robertson, and today I'm inside Studio 601 in Austin, Texas with the West Texas Exiles. Hey! What's up? Man, I'm so excited to be here. I appreciate you guys doing this and allowing me the opportunity to come catch y'all while I'm in town.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It's good to see a fellow Lubbockite.
Yeah.
Could y'all smell the dirt on me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the dust just blew in Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so let's get to know everybody. We've got Daniel on the end. You're from Amarillo, is that correct?
Sir, yeah, Amarillo, Texas.
Marco from El Paso.
El Paso, born and raised
All right.
up until 2009.
All right. We got Eric from Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock, Texas, man.
Colin from Lubbock.
Also,
And
yep.
Trinidad from Lubbock.
Yes.
Hometown
Lubbock or leave
heroes.
it.
Yeah.
This is a group of West Texas exiles,
Yes, sir.
isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Exiled by choice, not
Yeah.
by...
Yeah. Not yet, for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
Just to see what's on the other side of the state.
The original one right there. That's the original.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
right, man.
So let's just talk about maybe each individually, and I don't care who wants to start, just your background, where you came from, musical background, how you got playing music, and then how you ended up in this group.
Let's start with Marco. Marco was the one that kind of started this whole
Ah, yeah, man. I've been playing guitar since I was a kid. You know, about 13. Before I picked up the guitar, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. That was my life dream. And then my dad bought me a guitar and just never looked back. You know.
couldn't afford to play.
I realized I'm blind and I'm bad at math, and I have asthma.
Yeah.
I like late nights and hanging with good buddies. No, but that's when I started making music in high school. You know, had a few bands, and then in about 2008, 2009, I joined a band called the Dirty River Boys. And, you know, I stayed on the road from 19 until now. I'm 33. So I've just kind of been on, I was saying on and off, but it's really on doing the music thing since then. In about 2019, right before the pandemic, I got the idea that I kind of wanted to start recording a solo album. It really started when the pandemic hit, when I lost all of my work. I said, hey, you know, let me make an album. Shortly before that, I met Daniel, you know, at a show. I had known Eric, since I moved to Austin since 2009. So Trinidad was drummer for Dirty River Boys. I knew I had, you know, drums. I knew I had bass. Called in Daniel to play keys, and we started cutting some tracks. And that's kind of how the Exiles started. You know, that was the blueprint. Figured let's make a band. We already have the makings of one here, but it didn't fully become the Exiles until Colin joined the band, and maybe I'll hand that off to you at this point.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have been more surprised when I got I think it was an Instagram message from Eric. And, Eric, he and my brother Julian were old friends. Eric just said, hey, we got this band of people from West Texas and several of us from Lubbock that are, based and recording here in South Austin and love to collaborate. I was just like, are you kidding me? Is this a joke? Like this, how did this happen? Where's this been all my entire life? And yeah, I came over and got to know the guys. Trinidad and I had a lot of old mutual friends in common. And something about meeting the guys, talking to them and talking about what kind of music we liked and just the sense of humor and everything. And I was just like, man, I could never explain what it is, but I was like, this is home, and this is there's something powerful here that West Texas exports, and it's people that stay there and people that leave both. It's like there's people that keep the fire going there, and then people that carry it on, and I felt it automatically, and I was just like, this feels where I need to be. So
I like that. I like
West
that you put
Texas
that.
Exports was the other band name.
yeah, right.
That's gonna be our manufacturing. Where we,
Yeah.
We also have West Texas Textiles.
Yeah.
West Texas Texas.
It's got
Y'all
a lot of
y'all
fuck
are well
holes.
diversified.
Yeah, exactly. Portfolio. Yeah,
We're not out of a lack of ideas for stupid stuff, right? So.
exactly.
Yeah, I guess I'll go. I grew up in Amarillo and just mostly played in church. Like that's where I got my start. Like started playing piano at like 5 years old and just went along with it. Didn't really enjoy it, but played in the church and playing with a band for the first time. Really, just that's all I wanted to do. So I spent several days of the week playing at church, and then ended up playing in the bars with a guy named Ryan Colwell. Was the first guy I played with at the Golden Light, which we were talking about before we started filming. Classic place in Amarillo. Played with a guy named Zach Wilkerson for a number of years, and just really was living a civilian life. I was working at a bank and a church and playing rock and roll on the weekends all at one point, and it was just crazy.
You should see Daniel's bank picture. It is.
I gotta see that. If you gotta
We'll reveal it.
Older, weirder brother.
I could have robbed a bank because of how different I look, and gotten away with it, but I didn't, by the way. Very clear. I did not rob that bank. But yeah, then 2020 came around, and it was a good chance to move down. We've always wanted to get down here. Moved to Wimberley, and then, like Marco said, I randomly was playing a gig with some other band, opening for the Dirty River Boys, and then hung out with Marco and Trinidad till the sun came up, and we were just passing the guitar back and forth, and we just hit it off, and then came into the studio with him to record some of his songs, and decided I wanted to come in and record some of my songs, and then we decided to hey.
Yeah.
What-
It was weird. There's a
what do
weird
we have
moment.
here?
Where
Yeah.
it was like I was working on Marco's record and Daniel's record at the same time, and then the band was starting and being like, how are we gonna do this? Like the 2 solo records and then a band, and then both y'all were just kind of like, we don't want to do that. We just want to be this band. So that was just like, we don't want to even deal with any. So all the songs now, yeah. Sorry to cut you off, but I wanted to.
No, that's it. That's where that was the end. So yeah.
Well, you're good. Like you kind of tied this all together, man. 601.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. Going through life and being, I played in a lot of bands, and I guess I can go to the origin story here in a second. But yeah, to echo what Colin said, when Daniel walked in the studio, I mean, I'd known Marco for a long time, and I was a sound engineer. Whenever I stopped playing music for a while, I was like, I'm just gonna do sound engineer because it'll burn you out. You work with different bands and different people, and be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then it never died, never went away. So I will still continue to play. But Dirty River Boys were one of my favorite bands to work with, and just in general. Like there's nothing like that. And so
Mine too.
to get it to be like, for Marco to be like, yeah, let's cut this record out in my studio. I was like, oh, that's so freaking cool. And then to be in the band with him now, it was just. And then Colin is in the band, which is also, I was a big fan of Colin's music when we moved here. You were just putting out like Black Vines and Circles in the Yard and You That I Knew, and I was like, just genuinely liked the music, and now we're playing those songs in the band, and I'm like, it's so much fun, man. And like when I met Daniel, he came in the studio, and the first thing he played was Mr. Sandman on guitar. Like, dang, we should maybe have him do that because it's. I was like, who is this guy? Like, and he just immediately just starts playing and like singing, and like, okay, yes, like totally in, and then just the vibe, and then you meet Trinidad, and Trinidad is. Just there's nobody like Trinidad I've ever met in my life. No, the positive energy that comes from Trinidad is really like a lot of the fire that just keeps going. It's like how we interact together is like what makes this work. It's the personalities and how we support each other, and then the music is like obviously everything as well. But like it doesn't work without that. And like this configuration is somehow it's just like better than the sum of the parts, you know.
I gotta say, I'm not sure if I would be sitting here if it weren't for Trinidad, man. I went through some hard times past couple of years, and T took me in, and yeah, man. You've done a lot, man.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit.
Lubbock, Texas. I started playing drums when I was like 8. I have an older brother, Henry, that he basically, I kind of just caught to it, you know, and growing up in Lubbock, like in the early 80s, mid 80s, just discovering all the music and playing all kinds of different styles of music, and I've gotten to mix it up with some really cool cats back in the day that I didn't even realize what I was doing. I think playing with Lloyd Maines before, and at the Cotton Club one time, and Junior Medlow, he was one of the Cobras. I actually was a sit-in drummer for him, and it's wild because then my journey took off. I left Lubbock. I played psychedelic music. I had a period where I was playing more of a heavy rock, lead singer, heavy rock band, toured all over the world.
Hold on. Lead singer on drums of a 3-piece rock band.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. Like, go check out Dixie Witch. Go check out that band.
It was a trip because I think I was just finding myself. I worked in record stores all through the 90s, but for me, the drums are the heartbeat. It's just about the spirit and the energy, and it's helped me survive in this life that's had its nooks and crannies and turns and ups and downs. And meeting Marco, like I said, I left that world. I went civilian for a little bit, and then got back into it and mixed it up, playing rock and roll. Band called Grady and Honky, Gordy Johnson, Jeff Pincus, a bunch of different people. And but it got to where I became a session guy, got into the R&B world, and Soul Man Sam Evans, he's a local great guy, Memphis soul man. He kind of took me in, so I learned about the backbeat and the pocket and all that kind of stuff. But then through mutual friends, I met the Dirty River Boys and Marco, and I was blown away by the sounds because I wasn't familiar with that whole Americana movement that was happening at the time of the Texas movement, and just Marco's songs were so compelling to me, and his spirit and passion on the stage, and I just connected with him, and we just have he's like a brother I never had, you know, and I'm very thankful to be a part of this, you know, but basically doing with the Dirty River Boys, just learning how to play with songwriters, and these guys have been so great, and we just work well together because I think we've all had past experiences that didn't go great in bands, or didn't, you know, we did it wrong, or just it didn't work out. But this has been just a coming together of veterans that are just, we believe in each other, and we talk to each other, we get along, and we love each other. Mm-hmm. And not to mention our better halves. Yeah. It's just a whole family, man. And that to me, that's the essence of what brings something special, is that family style, and that, you know, and we could talk to each other, support each other with everything, you know. So for me, the West Texas Exiles is a culmination of my life as a drummer, and it all kind of came full circle. Like Colin's talking about first time sat, you know, and we're talking about Lubbock, and there's this band called Los Tornados that I played with for a little bit, and just like he was at the show, you know, and stuff like that. But I think it's just, we just all gelled and clicked, and I'm so excited about all the music that we have, the stuff that's coming. So we're just growing, every day, and we're in the middle of South by Southwest. We're 6 shows in, and they've all been killer. You know?
Oh yeah.
You can't deny it when there's love on that stage.
You can feel the energy, man.
Definitely.
It's just there. You know. So we just we're trying to guide this ship into the great wide open, and we're finding our way. You know. So good things are happening.
Yeah.
These dudes, it's all about love.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you can get a group of guys that all kind of got the same direction in mind, and there's that energy together, you know, you just feel it with each other, man. Yeah. It can be pretty magical.
Yeah,
it's definitely.
It's that shared experience of growing up in West Texas. Like, there's nothing like it. I mean, just, you know, there's the isolation of it all, which it makes good and bad things happen, you know, and if you live there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly. And so, you know, luckily we had music to put our energy into, and so, like, you know, growing up, I ran a venue with my parents, but it was really with my band member at the time. When you're in Lubbock playing you know, kids playing high school, there's not a lot of venues you can play. There's still not a lot of venues to play there anyway as a grown adult. But, you know, then there was just like one venue, and it would just jump around from party house to storage unit to the record store to this co-op that this hippie dude was running. And then he was trying to make some hippie thing happen in Lubbock, which did not work. And he was like, I'm going back to California in my green school bus. And he called us while we were on our first little Texas tour, and he was like, you want to take this over? And we're like, sure. And called my parents and like, hey, we want to do this. And my mom's a teacher. My dad is a high school football coach turned athletic director. And they dove in to that as being like teachers. And it gave the kids that are in that space somewhere to go and stay out of trouble as well, or maybe get in a little bit of trouble, but not that much trouble, you know? So they're like, my wife, her parents would drop her off at Tokyo Joe's and hang out and go see shows. And we had them like all nights of the week. And that community is like, it's kind of echoing what's building here in Austin right now. And in between, even like the guys in Lubbock, Mason and Jim Line, and you know, Cale Richardson's there right now. But there's a lot of synergy happening between what's in West Texas and then where people are landing in Austin, because like during the pandemic, especially, a ton of people have moved here, even outside of just Texas, you know, California, but all the people that moved here, there were so many songwriters and people looking for somewhere to go that they can work and have a bigger community and have some, you know, a possibility of really doing their craft on a wider level. And that's why we're here, you know, like, and but we wouldn't be anything without being from West Texas, you know.
Well, you know, some of my songwriter buddies that have kind of gone on like you guys, they call Lubbock the great incubator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you know,
it is.
It's a great place to get your feet wet. Yeah. You know, to build a community with songwriters, because the songwriter community is pretty stout.
Well, and that's you can actually make art there, and that's the thing, is like that's all you can almost make in a way, is like you just you can do that, and then that makes really great songs.
And I mean, hell, I'm gonna try to speak very fondly of Amarillo, but I had to drive to Lubbock, you know, an hour 45 minutes to find these songwriters and find these things that were happening. I tried at one point to do it myself in Amarillo, and it there's something special about Lubbock, like in that sense, like it's cool.
Yeah.
Or just like was it Butch Hancock was talking about just the openness and stuff, and where he lived, you could hear the train, you could hear trains go by and stuff, and it was just like. Just talks about that
Hub
spirit,
City,
you know.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of energy that lands there. You know, at all the roads you have to drive through it, going from, you know, New Mexico, or you want to get to. It's just a stop in the middle of nowhere, but that's grown something that's really cool.
Well, it turns out when you're on tour, especially like back in the day, like some of the big names, like that's why they stopped in Lubbock too. You know?
People
it's on the way.
it, you know,
it's on the way, and it became a thing. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, and the people there really truly love music. Yeah. I mean, they do. There's a huge passion for music there.
I remember the Lubbock Municipal Coliseum and seeing all kinds of killer shows there.
Well, now, you know, they've got the new Buddy Holly Center.
Right.
Yeah.
It's incredible, man. They're having some killer shows.
It's great. Yeah.
So let's talk about, you guys got a lot going on this week at South by Southwest. 7 shows already. Today's Thursday, is that right? 7?
I think so.
This is
Something like
number
that.
7.
Have y'all stopped counting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7, yeah. I don't know.
And then we have 6 more
Yeah.
after today.
Yeah.
Nice.
2
Y'all
days.
working on a new record? Is that right?
We are.
Yeah. We got a
Constantly.
yeah. We released Marco's the first single from it, and it's kind of one of those things where like we want to do a record, we want to keep putting music out. We definitely know this song's going to be on that record. Let's put the song out. Let's just we're building the record. We have, I don't know, we probably have like 4 songs down for it right now, trying to 10, 12 or something. But Daniel's song's coming up next, a new one from him. We're going to release probably in April. And yeah, I mean, we're stoked to go play Cactus Theater.
That's
with Jimmy
right.
Dale.
Oh yeah.
With Colin's
We're
dad.
looking for. Yeah, with my dad. We're
So your dad is, for the people watching that don't know, is Jimmy Dale Gilmore.
Jimmy Dale Gilmore.
Legendary
Yeah.
Flatlander.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that show, man. 29th at the Cactus Theater.
29th of and this will be the first time with all of us and my dad together playing back in Lubbock. So it's going to be a special moment.
your dad
you know?
excited?
He is, yeah.
It's so much
very
fun
much.
playing with Jimmy.
Now y'all are backing him some, right?
We're back and we'll open the show and then we'll back him up for his set. So
Yeah, it's great. He's the West Texas Exile too.
Yeah.
It's just having a fourth guy, fourth songwriter in the band, and it couldn't be cooler, honestly. And also, fun fact, he's Smokey in The Big Lebowski.
yeah.
If you know that movie, he's in that, and that was really cool.
I forgot that he was in that movie.
Yeah, he's in that movie, man.
That's a movie's gift that keeps on giving. It's funny. It'll die out and then just a whole new generation will be rabid for it, and never would have known that. I don't even think the Coen brothers suspected that,
I want to talk a little bit about what you guys are doing today at Captain Quack's. That's a pretty interesting little kind of dynamic that's going on there. So who wants to talk about that and kind of explain what that's all about today?
Well, I would do that, but I actually am not exactly sure what's happening. No, we have a buddy. His name's Aaron Rockland. Rockland.
Yeah.
He's become one of the earliest and biggest advocates for the West Texas Exiles. He has just done a lot for us. He's a great guy. He is also, I guess, head of the psych department at UT. He's a professor at UT in psychology. And from what I understand, we're going to play a few songs, and he's calling every time he texts us. He's saying, "Get ready for family therapy today." Yeah. So I guess we're gonna
really into lyrics and things like that.
Yeah.
He a lot of Van Dawes. He hooked up with those guys, and he does these things where it's just kind of set and get intimate.
This is going to be. He did that with Dawes, a similar thing, but this is where he's kind of branding it. It's called Under the Rock.
Yeah.
And this episode will be called Inside the Exiles. So
That's cool.
We're kind of the pilot. We're the pilot, the guinea pigs for this thing, and it's going to be at Captain Quack's.
That name is great.
Yeah.
Captain Quacks.
Captain
Yeah.
Quackenbush.
Oh, Captain
Quackenbush, yeah, or
It's
Quacks
even
for
better.
short.
Short for yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was asking Eric before we started, if he was trying to, kind of dig into the mind about maybe if it's from life experience or when you're telling a story in a song, how you get there. Is that kind of the idea?
That's totally where it's going to go.
Okay. Is he going to ask you some really weird personal questions
Probably.
too? Probably.
The thing is,
Knowing Aaron.
the thing is, I mean, I personally can say this, in my songwriting, it's usually something kind of dark and sad masked in this happy tune. And so I enjoy breaking that stuff down. And then I bet you feel you probably just make a sad song also sound sad more often. But
Professional sad boy.
but yeah, it's going to be cool to we're always open to talk about that stuff, and I think good songs mean something and should be talked about.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's what I love about their songwriting. It's just, it's the stories are great, and just the human vibe of them. It's just great. Yeah, so many good ones.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I was talking to maybe Colin earlier about it, or Eric, but I write with a couple different people back in Lubbock, and I'll have a song that maybe is going a direction. I have an idea for a song, and when I collaborate, maybe I bring somebody in, I'm stuck or want to work on something with somebody, it may go a totally different direction. You know, that different perception of what maybe that hook means to somebody, or you know, the melody makes them feel a different way than it's making me feel, you know, and it takes it a whole new direction. So I bet that's cool to kind of dive into that a little bit with somebody who's got a little psych experience. And
we'll find out.
He'll get us started talking, and we won't shut up, and he'll have to.
Well, it's like Hotel Tomorrow,
prompt the
right?
next
You
song.
had the initial idea, but that's the first one that there was a collaboration on, right? It's like,
for sure.
Yeah.
I just had a verse and a chorus, and it was that's. I guess we can go into that story. I feel like we already talked about it, but that was just last night at the show. It's been a long week, so we didn't already talk about it here. So the song "Hotel Tomorrow," which was our second single we put out, I had the first verse and then the chorus, which was "Thoughts of tomorrow, yesterday's sorrow," and just not the most original idea, but just like a feeling and. That a lot of people experience. But then Mike, who just left before we started filming, our producer here at 601 Studios, he misheard the lyric and thought I said "hotel tomorrow," and so we just kind of paused and thought about that, and then it kind of became a place, which is really, if you think about it, it's a place you go in your head. And so then from there we. Marco basically just put out the second verse, just kind of impromptu on the spot for the most part, and then we wrapped it up, and that was kind of the first like real collaboration of
it was cool. Like we were literally out on our patio, like when I was telling you earlier, the band started after we made the record. Like we just kept jamming because it was fun. Like we just kept, just the love of playing music together. We did that for over 6-8 months or something, just doing that and playing their songs. And but that was out on the patio. It was like, I got this one, and it's even like it was different because it wasn't swung. Like we were like it was straight, like it was. I can't even feel like how it was before, but it was a straight.
memo floating around.
But he sang it like verse and chorus, and we were all just like, yeah, and we just walked right in here and just pretty much finished writing the song. Like Marco, he did it, his verse, like, cause I had everything mic'd up, right? And so we would come and jam in the studio, but it would be like a recording session basically. And so I have just like hours and hours of us working through these songs. But that one came in here, finally it was like me or T or somebody was like, let's swing it. And I'm like, there it is. And then we figured it out, and then Marco literally
Easy from there.
freestyled like a verse that was recorded, and that was like, it was just the whole vibe of what Daniel was saying. He just caught it,
and it made me cry. I still cry every now and then. It's just about family and about, it's funny because I have a nephew who lives in Lubbock, and he heard the song and "Smell It Raining on the Pavement," and he said it reminds me of walking with Dad, with my brother Billy. And he remembers that it would rain and you could smell the sidewalk, that smell of the rain hitting. It was like,
that evokes such an image, that olfactory thing can bring you back even before
and Marco
a sight.
Talking about Ma, and we're both mama's boys, and I think our moms would have been best friends. But that's just what these guys are writing about. I'm loving it, and it's just, I just want to put that in there.
Well, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but for me, like when I write a song and it's just me and the guitar, when you take it and you put a full band behind it, it's almost like it comes alive and it becomes a living, breathing thing,
Yeah, when you have the right guys behind it, and that's where it's like, it's what the song wants kind of, dictates at that point, I think. And I think we're all pretty good about feeling that, intuiting what the song really wants to be, versus like, this is my song and this is how it's going to go. Like these guys are really open to the collaboration and the team sport of it all that it is. And it really helps with us, especially like T and I, feel validated in the band as players.
And open lines of communication. That's why I work so well. Like Marco and Daniel, Colin, and Eric just talking about styles and dynamics and stuff. And Like, it's just fun to work with as far as a drummer playing the songs, because they have ideas and we work on them together. And we all can talk to each other, and there's no like, I'm telling you this, it's like we're brothers, and we're working it out because we're working on something together that's going to shine.
Nobody here is a side person, everybody is a full, a real piece of the whole thing, That's unusual, I think.
Yeah.
So you guys got a busy summer coming up. I see lots of dates on the website. Why don't y'all tell us about what your summer schedule looks like? And
Man, Colin.
Oh man, we got we got some shows here. We got one at the Saxon in April. I think one of the most interesting ones, we're going to play the Fort Worth Zoo coming up here.
Yeah. It's called Bistro. They closed the zoo. Well, they didn't close it down.
B-E-A-S-T.
But they get all these local restaurants and bars and alcohol sponsors, and they have all these little bars and tiny pop-up restaurants all throughout the zoo. And there's still some of like the animal attractions open, but then there's a couple stages, and so we're going to be on one of those stages and play for them.
Playing in the Silverback Gorilla Pit.
Yeah.
we're not. That's a topical joke.
It's not in our contract.
so when should we look for this new album to come out? What's it's sometime this year, maybe?
August.
Okay.
That's what we're hoping
September
for,
or something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So there's again 3 songwriters here, so we're just trying to.
Yeah, and y'all got some incredible material, man. I love Exiles.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
I
the
hope I
one
get
that started
to
the band, man.
Yeah, that's right. Our namesake.
That is the namesake of the band. So.
Yeah, we got lots of material. It's with how busy we are. We're literally doing a little bit of everything all the time. So when we're not on the road, we're in the studio rehearsing or recording, and it's
Daniel's doing all our graphic design. So everything that you see, that's pretty much Daniel's doing it.
It's a huge team effort just on the social media fronts, and we're just we're all doing it. Yeah.
That's good. So where can people find you on social media? Website, social media. What do you guys?
All of it, man.
All the above.
West Texas Exiles. That's our Instagram. That's our Facebook. That's our website.
That's our LLC.
That's everything. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Tours, is your tour on your website schedule?
Up there.
Okay.
Pretty much any website we could be on, we're on. So other than some of the ones that we could be on that. Yeah, maybe for after hours.
Yeah.
If we get desperate, we might.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Well, listen, I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this. I know y'all got a busy schedule. I can't wait to go see this show at Captain Quack's, but I got one final request. Will y'all play me something in here?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Hey, we're the West Texas Exiles. This is our new song, What Happened?
In the line, on the roof. What happened to you? What happened to you? What happened to you? What happened? Oh, you swear that one day. Oh, you'd swear that one day. Oh, you swear that one day that you'd break loose. Yeah, you would break loose. What happened to you? What happened to you? What happened to you? Oh, what
Thanks for picking up my pick. That's kind of awesome.